Hi guys, this is George back here with another video and welcome to another episode here working in World of Adventure in Planet Coaster, where as you can see I am starting on a brand new thrill coaster here in a brand new section of the park. So this area is going to be themed to China. So of course we got lots of different countries represented in this park, and this area is going to be themed around China. So yeah, I did say in the last episode that the next themed area is going to be something that I had experimented a bit with in Planet Coaster. And yes, when I was building my vintage park in my last series, I had a bit of a Chinese theme around my Schwarzkopf looping coaster. So yeah, I've had a little bit of practice and a little bit of experience with this, but this area is going to be much bigger than the area in my vintage park. Of course, my vintage park wasn't too big. This park, however, is absolutely massive, and this area is one of the biggest ones in the park. So yeah, there's going to be three different attractions in this area. It takes up a lot of space. There's also going to be a set of accommodation as part of this area as well, which you're also going to see built later on in this hotel. Later on in this episode, I'm going to be building a Chinese hotel later on in this episode. But here we go. Whilst I've been talking about that, you can see that the layout for this B&M Flawless coaster is near completion. So yeah, this is going to be the signature attraction in this Chinese themed area. A big B&M Flawless coaster, another B&M in the park. This is the third B&M in the park. And yeah, this one's a flawless coaster. So this one very much focused on inversions. You've also got an airtime hill there as well. I really like the airtime hill on Superman at Parker Warner Madrid. I really wanted something like that, where it was quite a standard B&M Flawless coaster, but with a very different layout. And that's something that I feel like I've done quite well with. This isn't your typical B&M Flawless coaster that you would see in a lot of places. A lot of them tend to have quite similar layouts. This one's very different, which is exactly what I was going for. Here we go. You can see that the coaster is now pretty much complete. I'm just moving that over towards another section of the park, making it a bit further away so I have a bit more space for the rest of the area, because there's a lot that I want to fit into this area, and you're going to see a lot of that happen over this episode, and then also in the next episode there's going to be a lot happening as well. Here we go. You can see the color scheme for this coaster now is getting changed. So we've got a red and black color scheme with this coaster. Something you may have noticed with the first drop is the turn into the first drop is on a bit of a slant. I did that because I wanted to smoothen it out a little bit, because it was quite a sharp corner going in with a bit of speed. And yeah, I didn't really like the look of it. I left it for a little bit thinking it doesn't really matter. However, eventually I decided it did matter, and I decided to change it. So I do go back and change that later on, so it's a flat turn rather than on a slant. Here we go. The station is now in progress. You can see the big building for the station, like a big Chinese temple, you can see just here as well. So much has already happened in this first few minutes. I'm struggling to keep up. There's just so much happening. And yeah, you're going to see so much more happen in this episode as well, because as I said, I'm going to be building a massive Chinese hotel later on in the episode as well. So that was certainly a big project that takes up a lot of space. This area is absolutely massive, and it's nowhere near done by the end of this episode. You're going to see some of the attractions in place. I also put a flat ride in this episode as well, which you'll see go in later. And then in the next episode, there's going to be lots of other details around the area, and also another attraction inside this area as well, which I'll talk about another time. Here we go. You can see some lanterns hanging up just there on the station as well. So that's going to light up at night. They are upside down as well. But to be fair, I think they look quite good like that. So I just left them like that. Doesn't really matter, I guess. You're not really going to notice that. As long as it gives off light and it fits with the building, that's what I'm happy with. Here we go. So you can see the queue line going in now. So this actually took quite a bit of time to kind of build around how I wanted this area to be. So here we go. You can see the main path that's going to go through the area there. So of course there's going to be a pathway, an entrance in the kind of central hub of the park where the big lagoon is, and there's also going to be an entrance from the Mexican themed area as well. But this took a bit of a while trying to sort out where I wanted the queue line and exit paths. So here we go. You can see me going around building that, But yeah, it did take a bit of time to kind of perfect this and decide exactly where I wanted to go. Here we go. You can see a bit of a cut in the video just there because I spent quite a bit of time kind of setting out a layout where I wanted it to be, and one layout didn't work, so I tried to send it a different way and it still didn't work. But there we go. You can see that's all done now. So the exit goes right underneath the lift hill and past the first turn out of the station. And then the queue line, you're going to get some amazing views of the coaster from there because it literally goes right underneath some of the inversions over there. So if this was a real theme park, you'd be able to look up at it and get some amazing views of the coaster whilst it goes through its layout. So yeah, I'm really happy with that. You can see now I'm just adding a big lake in here as well. Definitely wanted lots of water in this area. You can see the terrain was a little bit messy there, so I just decided, you know what, it might just be easier to just put a pond in there, and then it looks a bit more even. So I've put in a big pond just there. You can see lots of trees and rock work going in just here. You can see a big dragon statue going on there as well. That's got a flame effect inside its mouth. So at a certain point, when the trigger of the coaster sets it off, that dragon's going to breathe fire. So I've triggered the coaster. So once the coaster goes down the first drop, that's when the flame effect goes off. So you'll see that just there as well. So you've got the dragon statue just on the outer bank. Yeah, I was originally going to put the flame effect with that one, but then I thought it got a bit close to the track, so I decided to put it for the one on top of the station. And then those fountains as well, you'll also see are triggered up to the ride. So they're going to go off when the coaster goes into the brake run. So yeah, you'll see that. That's all triggered up now. And now it's time to put loads more trees around the area. So this is just marking where I wanted trees. However, once this is done, there are trees absolutely everywhere. It's pretty much a big wall of trees that you can't see through, and it's pretty much acts as a big barrier to the area. Here we go. You can see the next ride going in just here now. So this is one of those Sky Temple rides. They've got one of these at Efteling, and they've also got one at Gardaland as well. I went on the one at Gardaland, and yeah, it's really nice. It's a very different kind of observation tower, very unique. So you go up there and get some amazing views. And the good thing with this is that it's already themed with the style that I'm already going with over here, with like the Chinese Oriental theme. That's already themed up like that. So as much as it can be annoying in Planet Coaster sometimes when the flat rides are already themed and you struggle to fit them into your different areas, it can occasionally work very well when you are building something with that theme and then it fits in absolutely perfectly. There we go. So yeah, I'll put that Sky Temple in and you can now see the start of the hotel getting built. So this building is absolutely massive. So I wanted to have it a bit of a different color scheme with this one. I didn't want it to all be this same shade of red. So I thought about using this other kind of more pink color, but then I decided actually I don't really like that. I'm going to go for a bit of a darker red with those sections. It does look quite similar. However, by the end, I am really happy with how this hotel looks. I think it's exactly what I wanted it to be. I wanted it to be impressive, grand, and that's exactly what the finished product looks like. So yeah, I'm really happy with how this did turn out. Here we go. So you can see the layout of this. So it's pretty much three big towers that are going to have corridors connecting them up. So the big towers, they're going to be the tallest points of the hotel. So you'll see all of that go into place once I put all of the walls in. So here we go. This was just putting all the hotel rooms in here and the hotel lobbies. I do move the lobbies as well because originally I was going to have a path go through the middle tower. But then I thought, actually, I don't really like that. I'm going to put it like this. So you can see now we've got an entrance on each side. One entrance is going to be from the transportation that's going to take you from the front of the park over to the hotel. The other entrance is going to be an entrance directly into the Chinese area. And then from this hotel, you'd get some amazing views over towards the B&M coaster as well. I wanted to make sure that this hotel had amazing views of the area. So that's why I've decided to put it in this location because you can look right over to the B&M, right over to the observation tower and just see the whole area from this hotel. So yeah, if this was real, then you'd be able to get a park view hotel. Like maybe they'd charge a bit extra, like they normally do in hotels, for a park view room. I didn't end up decorating the back of the hotel and some of the sides as well. Some of the sides have got windows on, but not all of them, depending on which angle you're looking at it from, because the back of the hotel, you're not going to see it. I've only decorated it from the park view side, because that's the side you're going to see. Whereas the other side, you're never going to see it unless you're getting the transportation from the front of the park. But if this was a real theme park, obviously there would be windows and everything on that side and hotel rooms that look over that way. But with the fact that you're not really going to see this in the game, I decided I don't really need to kind of put all the details on there because it would just be a bit of a waste of time, really, putting loads of windows around there that you're not really going to see very much. So I didn't end up putting that in. Here we go. The main shell of the building is now in, so you can see the three different towers. Then you've got a smaller kind of section on the roof of those, and then the middle one has got another one on top. So these are all going to be different rooms. That middle one right at the top is going to be like a suite. So if this was a real theme park, then that would be the like park view suite hotel room in there. So it's right at the top. It's a much bigger room. You get an amazing view over the area. You're the highest up. All of these rooms here would be standard rooms that you'd get a park view over. And then, of course, there are the higher up ones as well. Also, the second section of the middle tower, that if this was a real theme park, obviously you can't actually build this in Planet Coaster, but if this was a real theme park, that would be a bar. So with that middle section, I put some different windows and some much bigger windows where you can look over the whole area as if you'd be in the bar, sitting there on an evening, drinking your drinks and looking over at the park through the massive windows. Also, these middle sections here that connect the three towers, they've also got some bigger windows on as well, because the idea with those is that they would be the corridors that lead over to the different tunnels. But then also there are some smaller windows in there as well, higher up, that would be more hotel rooms. So yeah, I feel like I'm not explaining this in the best way. So I feel like the best way for you to see this is to just carry on watching and see what I do with this, really. So here we go. You can see some of these bigger windows going in just here as well, just changing the color of those. Originally, I was looking at painting them black, but then I thought, no, I want them red. Felt like that fit with it a bit better, so you can see all of those going in. Some of these bigger windows just here as well, much bigger, grander windows just there. And then you can see the standard windows as well that would be for all the different hotel rooms. So you can see all of those going in just there. As well as that, you're going to see me do some lighting as well. So some of these windows are a bit wonky as well. I do go and change that. There we go. There's the bigger windows that I was talking about for the bar. And then here we go. There's more windows just going in on here. Yeah, some of these windows are a bit wonky, and I do go back and change those once I realise. At this point, I hadn't realised that they were a bit wonky, but when I start doing more details on the walls, then I do notice they're a bit wonky. So I do go back and change them. So you'll see that later. Here we go. So this is the Park View Suite now that for this hotel. You can see this one's got a balcony as well. So the idea is you'd be able to open those doors, walk out onto the balcony, and get an amazing view of the area and the rest of the park. There we go. You can see more windows going in just there as well. There we go. So here's more of the details on the walls going in just now. So this is the point where I realized that some of the windows are a bit wonky, and therefore I do go back and change them. I don't do it on camera because it took a while to make sure they were all in exactly the place I wanted them to be in. And then there's also more windows that go up on the sides of these kind of main towers as well, which you'll see. In terms of some names as well, the coaster is going to be called Soaring Dragon. So yeah, I'm happy with that name. It's kind of fits in with the area quite nicely. I wanted it to have a dragon theme, and yeah, I thought I'd call it Soaring Dragon. So there we go. And then in terms of the hotel, this is going to be called the Oriental Palace. I wanted it to be a very grand name to fit with a very grand hotel. So the Oriental Palace I thought fit really well with this. So therefore that's what I've decided to name it. Here we go. You can see me just changing some of the windows here now. But yeah, I do also add some windows on the sides of these towers as well, because of course those are sections that you can see from inside the park. So therefore filling in all the empty space. Here we go. You can now see some lights going up as well, all these different lanterns going up on the side just here as well, making sure the building is nicely lit up and kind of well themed. These lights look absolutely brilliant. They fit so well with this area. Of course, they are like very Chinese style lights. So yeah, they look really nice with kind of this roof design. So yeah, these took a while for me to put up. because there was a lot of them to put up, and making sure they're all in the right place. Some of them are a bit wonky, but due to the positioning of it and the scale of the building, there's not really a lot I can do about it. There we go. You can see those windows going in just here now. And then shortly you're going to see some more lighting go on the ground of this hotel as well. And we are now approaching the end of the video as well. So yeah, a lot has happened in this video, as you can see, and there's going to be even more happening in the next episode. There is still so much to do in this area, my second to last themed area in this park. Yeah, this is one I've been looking forward to building for a long time, and it's been nice to finally get there and build this massive hotel and this massive B&M coaster. And yeah, it's crazy to think that this series is now coming to an end. So here we go. You can see much more lighting going on the wall just here as well, making sure the building's nicely lit up. And then you'll also see some lighting going into the ground as well, making sure it's even more lit up. There we go. Lots of lighting between all the windows just there. And there we go. We are now approaching the end of this episode here. So that's now the end of this video here. Thank you very much for watching. Make sure to follow me on Instagram at George Kelly and follow me on Twitter at George Kelly. Thank you very much for watching. Stay safe, everyone, and I will see you all later. Bye.